Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a special preview of DARKBORN, otherwise previously known as Project White. This game has been around for a couple years now in some sort of concept. It first got revealed in 2016, as I said, and originally the premise is you are a monster, a scary monster, and you are actually going to be going out there and taking on humans as well as other creatures. It seemed to put the emphasis in a different perspective, not just this hero Viking. The world is a Viking world, alternative Viking world of course, and yes, it's got a creature, a monster as the hero rather than the typical humans. It's pretty grisly, it's pretty grim, I warn you now. There's lots of blood, there's lots of quite upsetting stuff. Even if you're a fan of PETA, you might be a bit worried about the computer monster getting killed here. But this was the trailer from 2 years ago. What has changed since, and what details do we know now about DARKBORN? So they released a 15-minute trailer to most of the press outlets out there. The developers are the Outsiders, I do believe, and it's basically showing the start of the game in much more detail. You are this small, tiny, baby sort of like monster creature, and as you go through the game, you are going to grow up and you're going to evolve a little bit, and you'll become maybe one of these big adults. It is a first-person single-player story. There's no multiplayer as far as I know, and it's not just a case of you just being some crazy monster killing humans. There is going to be much more story to it. You are going to be sort of balancing between maybe helping some friendly humans as well as maybe some other creatures. There is a war raging on above you and around you, and you have to live your life through it while also seeking revenge for what's about to unfold. As I said, it's pretty gruesome, and obviously this sets a tale of revenge where you're going to be going after the Vikings that have basically slain your family. The beast that you're actually playing is a Grendel, a popular Norwegian sort of style mythological creature. These Vikings are known as the Pale Enemy. They're basically marauders that hunt down any Darkborn, which is what you are, and where they perform these horrible blood rituals upon you and your brethren. You're going to be playing multiple generations, in fact, of maybe the same character, maybe different ones, as you try and work out exactly how it works. It is a stealth game at its heart, I do believe, until the later stages where you're maybe more powerful. 15-minute trailer shows off 3 different stages of your development, as you being a young whelp, a warrior like Gaunt, and the towering Yilda. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's the only time you'll change or you'll grow. You can actually get bigger by drinking the blood of your enemies, and you may actually go back to your whelp form, your basic child form, after these certain situations. This also extends if you're killed. If you're a larger creature, more developed, if you die, you may end up going back to a younger state. As you explore the world, you are going to come across even more of your creatures, your kind, and when they have this blood ritual performed on them, you may have a chance to get a dying gift. This will basically give you abilities and special powers. No matter what stage of development you are, you can then use these powers against the evil Viking humans. So you can see here how you're using noise manipulation to draw one of the Vikings towards you and hopefully dismember him. It's pretty gruesome stuff, but I really love the look of this game. There is no release date yet on it, no absolute any clue at all about when it's going to be coming out on what platforms. But if the developers are brave enough to put a 15-minute gameplay trailer out or gameplay session out as their real first or maybe second show into the world, I think that shows a lot about the confidence in the game. Did we get this from Bethesda and Fallout 76? Hell, have we got this from any game in the last few years? No, I don't really think we have, and this is why I think this is going to be really cool. A real story-led single-player focus where stealth combat plays a part but it also develops into all-out battles. Although in this instance it's all about stealth, I like the fact that you may be able to choose what kind of playthrough you're going to have or what way you're going to react in different situations based on your power. You can see there I'm using thorns literally from my hand, and that is a way that you can also take out enemies. The world looks really lush and vibrant but has that moody aesthetic to it too. So we're finally coming up against the human, the marauder that has slain our family. As you can see, we've grown up pretty substantially after just a few moments. It does look like getting revenge will give you more power and more status. And now who's going to mess with me, Viking boy? You can see we've been given the death gift of whip attack. It's another attack to put into our armory. If you've played Senua Soul Sacrifice, it's really got that vibe about it with the narrator or the person, the death spirit talking to you as you play. This is the actual combat as it plays out. It's reminiscent. I think this game could do pretty well possibly as a VR title. Not that I'm interested in VR that much, but just the first play aesthetics of it, the way everything is in your face and it feels very visceral, I think that could play out really well. Now we're much stronger, we are going to be able to take on crowds of enemies rather than stealthily running around. And just like that, we've taken on 3 badass Vikings. Now the game is going to be fairly short. It's not necessarily going to be a big sprawling huge landscape to roam and explore, maybe very led, and I don't mind that as long as the quality is there, and so far the quality is looking fantastic. There are some other elements too that they've brought from other games slightly. They've looked at the Shadow of War sort of style where you come up against nemesis or enemies that have maybe a little bit more information or are named. Not necessarily procedurally generated, but you will come across certain enemies that their skills and abilities will be known a little bit. This is towards the end of the demo, which we'll cover as well, but you can see we're making quick short work of this village of Vikings. He definitely didn't have his honey nut loops in the morning. So we're obviously in the stronghold, the Pale Stronghold, and there's clearly lots of things going on here. There's lots of things to explore. Doesn't look like there's too much at the moment in terms of like collectibles or anything like that. Looks like the focus is just on showing us how the gameplay plays out, and I love that. We've obviously come across another one of our brothers, kind, being killed and slaughtered. And this is the sort of Nemesis system, its own version of it in effect. We're going to get to see some abilities and some stats about this guy. So really will have to mix up how you take on some enemies. It's not going to be super easy just because you are this huge powerful beast. You can see that was the whip attack there, so clearly getting in on these weaknesses and then taking advantage. Just an FYI, there is some stuttering and issues here, but that's mainly down to the internet connection. The game is actually running pretty smoothly, so apologies for the stuttering, but it was the only recording I could get. Obviously the game is very much still in development and with no release date and no real other information about the game other than just this trailer, the gameplay section shown to various news outlets. I reckon there's still obviously a lot of work to make sure it all runs smoothly, but so far I am mightily impressed. This is looking absolutely amazing. Real different take on a single player revenge story, and I like the idea of being part of the enemy or seeing the world through what we'd normally consider the enemy's eyes. So there we go, that is DARKBORN. That's pretty much all I know about this game right now. I am going to keep you up to date though as we get more information about this, seeing how it plays out and give you as much info when it's going to release and what console it's going to come out on. I am Jade PG. If you've liked this and you want to see more previews of games, you want to hear about the latest news and information about early access, survival, open world and really good single story player games, then make sure you've got notifications turned on. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed it as well, and I'll see you for another DARKBORN video soon.